Mm-mm. Hi Sasa, I will call you. Wait, 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 wait. Mm-mm. Coba mate. Selamat malam teman-teman. Ini aku lagi telepon Sasanya. Hai Sasa.
I
Long
miss you,
time no
Putri.
see.
Long time no see.
Hey,
Hello, hello. Oh,
hello. Oh, you look so pretty.
thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm more bigger than before.
No problem. Hello, hello. Hello,
Okay.
Indonesia.
Hai hai. So, but I will use two language. It's okay ya. I mean like if
Okay.
there is anybody from Indonesia that cannot speak in English, so I will
Going
translate
to
it first,
translate.
right? Iya.
Okay.
Aku nggak di halo Kak. Ukat Wijaya say halo. She or he ask to you like, why you not say hello to me?
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Hello to
Okay.
all those
Good night,
in Indonesia.
everyone. So yeah, a lot of Indonesian, my friends from Indonesia want to know you more, but maybe not really on the time. It's okay ya. Okay. Good night. Good night. Hello everybody. So this is Sasa Cabal Quinto, butoh artist from Philippines. Why I choose her to be part, like, how to say, to talk active in Kuku Bima Talk Active. This is like I have new art space in Indonesia with my husband. The name is Bima Sana Art Space. So this is like me and my husband project, because the pandemic still happen in our world. So yeah, I think we need to do some sharing discussion like this.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Why I choose Sasa to be the first artist who I really want to talk about, because so many my students, how to say, sorry ya, my English, long time no use English.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, my students curious about butoh. In Indonesia, butoh is still random. Like, is a butoh part of theater? Is a butoh part of dancing? Or yeah, we still random. We still looking for the answer. Nah, I know you are the first artist from Philippines who took butoh study in Japan, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's why I really want to know, like, I want to digging from your perspective. Okay. So first, I want to say hi for Mila, Anidi, and a lot of my friends here.
Hello,
First,
hello.
it's okay. Yeah, I really want to open discussion with the others who participate in here. Like, if you have further question, you can write it on the comment. Yeah. I will tell in Indonesia, it's okay ya. In bahasa.
Oke,
ya teman-teman, ini Sasa, ini salah satu artis butoh pertama di Filipina yang dapat kesempatan untuk belajar butoh di Jepang. Namanya Sasa. Dan kalau ada teman-teman yang pengen bertanya mengenai butoh, itu bisa langsung komen di Instagram Live-ku. Nah, for the first question, Sasa, from a lot of genre of movement, art movement, yeah. Why did you choose butoh?
I think butoh form from Japan mostly resonates to my practice as an artist, as a movement artist, as a dancer. because it speaks from my soul. And when you are a dancer, you need to find your own language. And some dancers find their language through hip hop, through jazz, or through traditional dances, and that's okay. And for me, I find myself I find myself very free when I dance Buto, because it speaks from the soul. The body speaks for itself. You don't have to think too much, because it's not about you, it's about the universe, it's about life, it's about the totality of everything that we are. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
this is very interesting because like some of traditional or dancer,
Hmm.
I don't want to make a build between this is traditional, this is hip hop, and
Yes, yes, yes.
etc. I mean, like, uh, what do you think about butoh? It's close to theater, or it's close to the dance. If you said that before, um, according to your basic is a dancer, right?
Yes, yes.
And you said that butoh, if you learn butoh, it will make you free, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to think about everything, but it's about the universe. I mean, like, uh, is it not too hard to practice?
Mm-hmm. Well, it is not. Open yourself up. No, it takes
Uh,
a bit of courage to open up yourself, to be honest with yourself, and because when we dance, we always think of I need to do this, I need to do this movement in this way, and we tend to overthink a lot of things. When in Budo,
mm,
you um during my learnings in the workshops in Japan and in Malaysia, um they all gave us an exercise, and we will just explore this movement, and then that's it. And whatever comes from your body, that's your language, that's your soul, and that's what you are. Yeah. And yeah, you're and when and also in terms of if it's between theater and dance, well, it is literally between it's like the boundary of theater and in dance. It's not really theater, really dance itself.
or maybe the butoh itself, um, how to say, stand up
Stand
by,
alone.
yeah,
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 by
yeah,
itself.
stand alone. Oh, so it's not close to the theater, it's not close to the dance, but it's like butoh itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
I will translate
When
in
the
bahasa first, ya.
Yeah, when the founders did it, they when the founders created the Buto form in Japan, Tatsumi Hijikata and Kazuo Ono, they only did it to revolutionize the body, not because I want to break the um, the notions of this and that. Well, um, Hijikata, the other founder, he is more of the I want to deconstruct, like to break the patterns or the concepts of dance, blah blah blah, and you know.
Mm.
But in its purest form, it's more likely an improvisation. It's more likely reflecting to the universe, to the nature, to the parts of ourselves, the shadow aspects of ourselves, the dark aspects of ourselves that needs to be coming to light. So something like that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's why
Thank you, Sasa. I will uh, I will translate to bahasa first, ya.
yay, sure, sure.
Mm-mm. Jadi teman-teman, sebelumnya tadi aku tanya kenapa sih Sasa ini memilih, why she choose butoh rather than another genre. Kenapa dia lebih memilih butoh daripada beberapa seni pertunjukan yang lainnya. Nah, dia bilang karena basicnya sendiri itu adalah penari, pendekatan yang lebih mumpuni itu adalah butoh. Maksudnya karena ketika dia belajar butoh saat menari itu ada perbedaannya. Ketika menari, Sasa ini merasa ada banyak aturan. When you dance, there is a lot of the rules, right? There is a lot of the rules, but when you learn butoh, it's like more free, right? Okay, I will translate again. Ya, jadi ketika dia belajar menari, dia belajar hip hop, dia belajar tradisional juga. Nah, begitu bertemu dengan butoh, ada banyak kemungkinan-kemungkinan baru yang bisa dibuka dan nggak melulu, jadi nggak membuat dia berpikir, oh ini hitungannya harus sekian, ini hitungannya harus sekian. Lebih kepada universe, lebih kepada dia mengawinkan tubuhnya sama alam kayak gitu. Terus how long you've been practice butoh?
Okay, before I answer that question, I have to add some more because I need to that in butoh, it's when you learn butoh, how do you say that? Every butoh teacher, every butoh dancer has its own understanding of butoh based on their experience, based on their accumulated knowledge. So what I'm saying right now may be different from other butoh teachers or butoh dancers. All in common is that butoh is about life. It's not just dance, or it's not about theater or something like that. It's not just about technique, but it's about life. Sometimes, or most of the times, butoh dancers don't have an exact interpretation or exact how you call this definition of what butoh is.
It's like can I say that it seems like contemporary art?
Yes. That's why it's mostly categorized or stereotyped as performance art because it doesn't look like theater that much, or it doesn't look like dance that much. Yeah. But when you dance, when you're the one doing the butoh is not just theater or not just dance or something like that. It's about life itself. It's you. Butoh is you. Butoh is me. Butoh is us. Something like that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Jadi tadi Sasa juga waktu aku tanya tentang is it okay ya Sasa ya like two language?
No problem.
Thank you. Jadi pas tadi aku tanya sebenarnya butoh itu lebih dekat kemana sih? Butoh itu lebih dekat ke teater atau lebih dekat ke tari? Nah dia dibilang dekat ke teater itu bisa jadi mirip tapi enggak, bersinggungan dengan tari bisa jadi mirip juga enggak, tapi butoh itu berdiri sendiri. Jadi butoh itu bisa dikatakan oleh maksudnya bisa dikatakan dengan ya butoh itself. I try to tell everybody that butoh it's new art. I think not really new. I mean like
yes.
It's standing by itself, right?
Yes.
Ya, jadi butoh itu benar-benar berdiri sendiri. Jadi nggak bisa dibilang kalau butoh adalah teater, butoh adalah tari. Itu nggak, menurut Sasa. Nah, kemudian setelah tadi aku tanya, butoh itu nggak melulu, like, sometimes butoh is close to theater, sometimes it's close to dance. But it's really different because you said that how to say? You say that it's there is a script director. How to say? Like in theater, if you want to make a performance, you have like script writing. How to say? Like drama. If you have a concept like blah 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 blah, is in butoh. Sometimes if you want to do performance, you need to write it down, like the concept.
Yeah. We have this called butoh notation by one of the founders. So what he does is he doesn't have a script like in theater, but his concepts or ideas are found. The performances are found in the poems the poems itself, just the pictures or paintings, and that's it. Or the movement picture, something like that. Yeah, it was written, but not like the ones that we normally use in theater, like the script, like
Yeah.
this is what the blah 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 said, and this is and
yeah.
this, like that. But it also tells a story. Yeah.
So it's more about the context, right?
Yes, definitely.
What the context that you want to tell the audience.
Yes.
Oke. Nah, mungkin perbedaan Butoh sama Tari di mata Sasa dan di beberapa teman-teman pelaku seni Butoh sendiri itu berbeda dengan teater-teater klasik yang punya skrip, yang punya naskahnya, yang ada dramanya. Begitupun di Tari, misalnya ada adegan 1, adegan 2, dan seterusnya. Butoh ini lebih ke I guess it seems like performance art. Can I say this is performance art? No,
I'm not sure. I don't want to categorize itself. Most of the artists put it in the performance art category, but me personally, I don't want to put it in dance or theater.
It's just Butoh ya. Oke. So Sasa sendiri bilang kalau Butoh itu lebih dari teater dan lebih dari tari. Kalau digali lagi konsepnya lebih dalam, maksudnya ini lebih tentang siapa kamu, siapa saya, dan menceritakan tentang kehidupan. Kalaupun dia menuliskan skrip itu bukan seperti skrip pada teater atau tari, tapi lebih ke konsepnya. Bisa dari puisi atau bisa mengadaptasi dari lukisan. You can you can adapt the concept from the poem and from the painting, right?
Yes.
And your body can translate it.
Yes.
Oke. Jadi tubuhnya misalnya memilih konsepnya dari puisi atau memilih konsepnya dari lukisan, kemudian tubuhnya akan mentranslate itu menjadi sebuah gerakan. Oke. Thank you, Sasa.
Yeah.
Anyway, yay.
The question, how long have I been doing? Well, I'm just new in the Butoh form. I only discovered it 2 years ago, 2018, when I was doing a collaboration work with an artist. So it's like a poetry and dance. So yeah, and I was searching for a movement that would best suit my what I am currently developing at that time. And then I found Butoh, and I was like very interested. And then I said, oh, I want this, and I think this is what is really for me. Something like that. Yeah.
This is what you need.
Yeah, this is me. Or this is something. And then fast forward after a couple of months, we joined a choreographers competition, and then there's where I started my journey in Butoh. I continuously discover about it, and last year I went to Japan. I saved money to go there to really experience the workshop, because you cannot just learn Butoh by just reading it or watching it in a video. You have to experience it by yourself. Just like life, you cannot dance life when you don't experience what life is, something like that. But yeah, it's not like other dances that hip hop. Oh, okay, that's hip hop, and then I can dance, or I can learn the choreography by just watching it. But the wisdom, the true knowledge of the dance itself, you cannot learn it by just watching it or by just reading it. So you have to experience it by attending a workshop or a class, or getting the knowledge from a teacher, or from a practitioner.
So, it cannot be online, yeah. It cannot be online actually, like now.
Yeah, it can be online, but it can teach online, but you cannot just how do you say it? You cannot.
The experience is
Yeah,
different.
you have to experience. Yeah. You can
Mm,
do it online, but the experience doing it personal is a lot more different. But you can always teach it online as long as you teach it from a teacher or from a practitioner, like on a class. But if
mm.
you just watch it, like if you watch a performance, you cannot understand it by just watching it.
Mm.
I mean, you
Okay.
can like find ideas. Oh, this is what Buto looks like. Oh, okay, blah blah blah. But learning it just by watching, it's different perspective.
So if I want to learn Buto from YouTube, example, and cooking
Yeah.
it,
Hmm.
the taste is different.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me translate again. or or no need ya, or no need to translate ya. How do you think ya? I need to how to
What
say?
do you think, guys?
Yeah,
You
yeah. Because
understand?
uh, I I think not all of my friends watch this at the time. How to say? Not really
Mm.
can join online because maybe they have another business. So yeah, I don't know. It will be takes time if I translate.
You want to translate it,
Mm-mm. What
or
do you think?
yeah,
It's okay
you
ya.
can
Maybe
translate
just
it.
ya, just a little.
Yes.
So tadi aku tanya sama Sasa berapa lama sih belajar butohnya. Sasa belajar butoh itu 2 tahun. 2018, right? You
Hmm?
started it dari 2018. Terus begitu dia lihat, ini kok ada formasi apa? How to say? Formasi. Ada jenis. Kok butuh ini kayaknya bener-bener yang aku butuhin deh untuk kebutuhan menari secara ketubuhan. Memang berbeda. Nah, kemudian dia ikut kompetisi. You join the competition and went to
Well,
the Japan.
the competition was here in the Philippines. It's a choreographer's competition here, but
And you are the winner.
what
Yay.
third prize, just the third prize. But it
Uh-huh.
was a different experience because not all Filipino. I mean, it's rarely performed here. Well, there's other Buto dancers here, but it's only few. Like we're only two or three, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Japan
So
happened last.
you got invited to Japan, or you just like have an idea to go to Japan to learn after the competition?
I learned few from. Well, I learned a little while I was in competition, but learning from the workshop experience in Japan is a lot more.
So
Yes.
yeah. So after the competition, you went to Japan by yourself. I mean, like for
Yes.
funding or
Yeah.
something. Oh,
Yeah. By
wait.
myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Oke, jadi setelah dia memenangkan juara ketiga kompetisi menari itu di Filipina, terus begitu dia lihat bentuk dari si Buto itu, dia ngumpulin dana mandiri untuk berangkat ke Jepang ikut workshopnya. So this is a little bit sensitive. When you went to Japan, did you try to contact the government to support you, like for funding?
Yeah, for sure. I tried to contact friends from the community, the dance community here, and there's a non-profit organization that helped me, gave me some few money, but with the ends, I dropped the government name. Yeah, but during that moment they said not free yet. So it's kind of rushed. So they didn't have the to give me the money that I needed. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought a lot of artists in the world had an experience like that. Yeah, I mean like
Yes,
difficult
yes,
to
yes.
get funding.
Yeah,
Ya,
it's
jadi
disheartening.
jadi
It's
Sasa ini
quite,
setelah
yes, sorry.
memenangkan kompetisi memenangkan dance competition di Filipina, terus dia tertarik buto, dia berangkat pakai uangnya sendiri ke Jepang, tapi tetap ada bantuan dari ada non profit organization, jadi kayak ya kolektif gitu, teman-teman yang ngebantu, sama lah kayak kita kalau di Indonesia kalau mau berangkat ke kota mana atau ke luar negeri minta ke, maksudnya adalah minta bantuan untuk istilahnya seniman yang berprestasi lah, untuk membantu transportasi atau visa dan lain sebagainya. Nah kemudian tadi Sasa sendiri bilang kalau belajar butuh secara langsung, ikut workshop dan di kelas dengan gurunya langsung, dengan online itu sangatlah berbeda. Misalnya kalau kayak saya kan belum pernah ikut workshop butuh langsung di orangnya langsung, tapi biasanya tuh tanya-tanya dan cari di internet apa sih butuh itu, terus googling butuh. Nah itu experience-nya atau pengalamannya akan berbeda dengan teman-teman ketika belajar langsung, karena perasaan mengalami tubuhnya itu berbeda ketika teman-teman hanya mengcopy di YouTube kayak gitu. So I just talk about like a different experience between learning from YouTube and learning from butoh itself from the master. I mean like 101 direction like that,
Yes,
because so many dancers in my city. I don't know another city in Indonesia, but my city itself, like Serang City, they try to ask me couple times like, Miss, do you know about butoh? I said I don't have a capacity to answer about your question because I still looking for it. Like when they ask me, have you tried butoh before? I said yes when I follow your class in Philippines, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for
Yes.
me, butoh itself, little bit suffering. If you take the class the first time, your body will like, I don't want it. Like, you need to be patient all the time, right? Back to butoh basic. There is a rules in butoh basic for training, like be patient or need to take the time slowly to move or something like that.
Well, when you attend the workshop, with different teachers, they have different styles or different forms how they teach it. But as a student, you attend a Buto workshop, you know that you're going to a Buto class, but you don't know what it's going to be like, or you don't know what's going to happen. So when you attend the Buto workshop or a Buto class, first thing that you have to be is to open your mind, open yourself to any possibility, something like that.
And then
when you open yourself up, you how do you call this? It's not like really thinking so much about things. So when you think about, like, for example, in the workshop we did, I gave this exercise, and then sometimes you tend to overthink what it should be like, or how do I move this way, because that's what we used to do. But in Buto, we just need to free ourselves, not to think, and just move, just that. Yeah.
So the students or the audience, if they want to attend to the butoh workshop, they don't need to have an experience before, like,
or an expectation.
I mean like no need to have a, how to say it, like sometimes if you want to attend to the dance class, they will say that minimum you already know about the dance movement.
Mm-hmm.
But in Butoh, it's zero. It's okay. Not to be
Yes,
an
yes.
artist. Everybody
Yeah,
can
yeah.
join.
Yes, for sure. It's not for dancers or for performers only. Yeah.
This is very interesting. How about the people who join the Butoh class think about the, I'm afraid if my body is not really good. I'm afraid if my body is not, cannot move very well.
Buto should be felt. It shouldn't be understood. Even
Yeah.
even while you are watching a performance, um, you don't need to understand what they are doing. What does it mean? But you have to feel it. You have to feel it in your soul, in your heart. And if you feel something in your soul, in your heart, or something feels inside you that whatever that feeling is, then it's working. For me, it's working. Yeah, it should resonate for you. You don't need to understand, but you have to really feel or just experience the whatever is happening. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sasa.
Yes.
Again, I will translate. So tadi aku tanya apa sih yang harus dipersiapkan untuk latihan butoh gitu. Ada formulanya enggak? Dia bilang enggak banyak kok. Cuma harus buka pikiran, open yourself, open your mind, like ya buka semuanya. Terus percaya, like you need to trust to your body, right? Before you start it. Percaya sama tubuhnya, percaya sama dirinya sendiri. Jadi ikutin apa kata instrukturnya gitu. Nah, so when we follow the Butoh class, we need to like open our mind, open our body, like trust to your body, and following the instructor, right? Just trusting it. But how if me or somebody already had an experience in workshop Butoh and then they want to do it by themselves, like practice in their face, like me. I join your class and then I just copy it. If I want to practice in my home, I just remember what did you taught to me before, like, oh Putri, you need to like this, like this, like this. Can people like how to say, develop it to practice?
Yeah, for sure. That's why there's a lot of Buto dancers around the world now, especially in Europe and Western. So yeah, and mostly they just develop what Buto dance is. So now there's kind of a blur. How do you say it? Well, for my personal opinion, there's kind of a blur now when you think of Buto because everybody has its own interpretation on it. And even the Buto itself has, it's like a blur interpretation because you cannot put it in theater, you can't put it in dance. So, so people develop it in their own kind of way. But when you learn Buto, you cannot help but learn it more, experience it more, because something about Buto is how do you say this? It's like when you sing a song, you're singing a song, but the feeling of singing a song, that's what you are wanting to do it more, repeat it more, something like that. Yeah.
So it not really like you must to be like this, but the the people itself can develop how to practice butoh, but the person itself needs to had an experience first how to feel the butoh like 101 with the teacher.
Yeah.
Because the feel is really different. Yeah. Okay.
And you know what's interesting here is when I went to Japan, I discovered that most of the Buto teachers, before they can actually teach Buto, they have to they usually practice it or learn it like 10 years, 20 years before they can teach it. You know? So it's like
so
really
long.
yeah, and I'm like, so do I need to wait for like that long time before I can teach it? Something like that. And I don't know. I think it's on your own preference, but what I can advise is you cannot teach what you cannot fully understand. So when you knowledge or form, you have to understand it yourself. You have to embody it yourself before you can actually teach it. So yeah.
I think I want to copy your statement before. Like it's really good and important to us. Like you cannot teach what you cannot understand, because sometimes I don't know, some people will say something that they don't understand, but they just heard it like once or twice. But yeah, why I open Kukubima Talk Active like this, because I'm just a little bit depression because I had a class in my home with like senior high school and some university students, and they always asking me like, Miss, can you tell about Butoh, please? I cannot teach Butoh. I just learned once in my whole life, and I never performed Butoh before. Again, the question is, one of the community in Indonesia, it's like university community, like art community in the university in Serang City, in my city, in my place. They ever had an experience to performing Butoh for like graduation, and then we had a hard discussion about Butoh in our perspective, because they said the teacher or the instructor said that you need to put the mask on it, like not really mask like this, but the white
the white
paint. And I ask again, this is the rules or not, and or this is the form you need to follow, or you can how do you think?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because not all Buto dancers now use white paint, but when the Buto was created or was formed by the founders, they use it. Well, first of all, the meaning behind this white paint all over the body is to erase yourself, your persona. So when I put a white paint on my face or my body, I'm not Sasa anymore. Something like that. So you became just a body. And then what happens in your body, this is it. That's the Buto part of it. But it's not Sasa doing Buto. It's just a body doing Buto itself. Performed by the Sasa. Do you understand? Something like that.
Yeah. So maybe it seems like you need to delete your character.
Yes,
like Sasa itself, or you cannot use.
If you want Buto by the connection. Okay.
But how if we don't want to use it? Is it okay?
If you want to dance it from your own, I'm not sure if I can answer from that perspective.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that. But for me, I'm
but
still doing.
mostly butuh artis use that white body
Yes.
painting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So,
it's just
so
personal
that, yeah, yeah.
preference.
Okay. Um, jadi Sasa bilang itu dari yang awal ada satu kalimat yang tadi kan aku tanya kalau misalnya habis ikut workshop boleh nggak sih kita ngebuka kemungkinan-kemungkinan lain untuk latihan di rumah tapi nggak ngikutin workshop butuh itu sendiri. Kata dia nggak apa-apa, semua kemungkinan itu bisa jadi. Misalnya kayak waktu aku ikut workshopnya Sasa itu kayak ada hitungannya harus sekian, ada hitungannya harus sekian. Nah dia bilang ternyata setiap guru itu beda-beda ngasih formulanya. Nah Sasa itu dapat formulanya dari Jepang yang kemudian aku ikuti adaptasi terus aku bawa ke Indonesia tapi belum bisa aku ajarin ke teman-teman di seputaran sekitarku karena aku copy Sasa statement tadi, you cannot teach what you cannot understand. Jadi aku juga nggak berani untuk memberikan sesuatu hal yang baru yang aku benar-benar belum pahami kayak gitu. Jadi masih gamang gitu loh. Ini butuh sendiri aku belum mengerti gitu. Dan pada akhirnya kalaupun aku melatih diri sendiri untuk berlatih butuh, aku belum bisa share ke teman-teman karena masih bingung gitu formulanya kayak gimana ya gitu. Tapi untuk develop atau untuk mengembangkan latihan butuh sendiri itu bisa. Tapi benar-benar rasanya beda kalau nonton di YouTube dan melakukan praktis sendiri. Terus kemudian aku tanya soal pakai body painting di wajah yang warnanya putih. Apakah itu semua artis butuh pakai atau enggak dan tujuannya apa? Dan Sasa bilang menurut perspektif Sasa pakai warna putih itu sebenarnya rata-rata untuk menghilangkan karakter dirinya sendiri atau menghapus si artisnya itu sendiri untuk menjadi kosong, untuk memulai menjadi apa yang dibicarakan di konteksnya ketika perform. Okay, I'm trying to tell about the white body painting in our and then is butuh common in Philippines? I mean, like lot of
no, no.
Just little.
Yeah, just little. I think it's the same with in Indonesia, but the difference is there you have Ari Rodenko here in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Well, in Philippines we don't have a company or a group that does what Ari does, or me, I'm just an independent Buto dancer, and there's also one performance artist that practice Buto, but now not so much. So it's not really popular or famous or known here. Only few artists or only few people knows it. Yeah.
So it's not about there is nobody want how to say about the interesting things. I mean, like it's not about that, but about the. Can I ask? Wait.
Yeah, sure.
Why butoh itself not common in your country? First, because not so many people interesting in it, or there is no teacher who can teach.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I think because first, there are really few that practice Buto here. I think that's only me. I am not sure, but yeah. Number two, there's no teachers available here. So when I wanted to learn about Buto, I have to go to other country just to learn it. And number three, I think personally, Buto is not really that fund in my country, because in my country we want or most of the people here wanted the entertaining part of the arts, you know. You know what I mean?
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
So it's a different way. It's more of the pain or the suffering, or you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
light and the dark of aspects of life. And when you do it in a stage, people would think, what is that, a ghost or you know, a monster or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this
But
kind of stereotype when what is that doing when you do and Buto is not like that. It's not just about, you know,
it's not
being,
about suffering.
yeah, it's not just
Yeah,
about suffering.
because most people think that Buto is all about suffering things and like to like dark scenes of your part of your life like that. So
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
about that dark like that.
No,
No,
no.
you can be
Yeah,
happy
no,
also,
no.
right?
Yes, for sure. Yes, yes. Um,
Ah,
Buto touches the childlike aspects of us, the child that wants to learn. You know, when you are when you were a little, you're like an infant, like a kid, a baby, when you're just trying to crawl. That's what kind of Buto feels like. You don't know what everything is. You're just curious. You're just responding to the environment. You're just responding to what you feel, and that's just it. And when you feel pain, you really feel pain. When you feel happy, you really feel happy, and that's just it.
okay, okay. So it's about the try to tell people that you can feel everything truthfully,
Mm-hmm.
no, not fake. So the different things maybe with the theater or the dance, like drama dance or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It's like Buto. It's more. What do you feel? That's come out from your body.
Yes,
If
yes,
you
yes.
feel pain, really pain like that, not fake
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You try to tell it like really really truthfully, so people when you watch it, when people watch you performance, so they can feel it directly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Can be
Mm.
happy, can be hurt, or something, something, something. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Sasa.
I think,
And
wait, I need to add from the suffering part, because because Buto mostly understood us about suffering, because it also stems from the founder itself, Hijikata. Buto was created in the post World War II, when Hiroshima and Nagasaki
uh,
bombing happened. And yeah, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of disease and all that, and Japan was transitioning from its own solid culture to westernized, you know, when the westerners are
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
invade.
Colonialism.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So the people, the Japanese people, were trying to find its own identity. So it found itself in a deconstructing way. So it expresses itself about death, disease, because it doesn't understand itself anymore, you know? So yeah,
Mm.
I think that's where it's coming from. Yeah, yeah, that's why
Mm.
it's
From the history before.
from the
Uh-huh.
history. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. But uh, what's happening now? It's like change the form, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
already like more open.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The anyway. Okay. We have like 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay. It's okay. Yes, yes, but really, really thank you
Sure,
because
thank you
yeah,
so much.
this is like some nutrition from my for my brain also. Like pandemic make us cannot move like really really move to one stage to another stage. The last question maybe because before we wrap it, the last question is um how about you are the I mean like your job is full time artist, right?
Yes.
Full time artist, same like me here. So uh how do you survive in the middle of this pandemic? I mean, like, you still concerned to open the workshop online? You change the format to the online workshop, or you using the social media to performance? Oh,
Yes. So what I did this whole pandemic, well, at the first few months, I had to sit with myself and really reflect on so many things about what I do as a person, woman, and as an artist. So I really didn't have the time to, transition to online faster. I just I spend my time with family, with my loved ones, and just living one day at a time. You know, just breathing one day at a time, and what this day needs that I need to fulfill. That's just what I need to do for that day. But now, I am now having again the courage because I also had the down times. You know,
yeah.
now I'm having the courage now to um, how to continue what I do and also transcend it online. So now what I just started doing was did an IG live in my personal account. So I do conversations, talking to friends, games, and then there's also performances. Just to go back to where I stopped and so something like that. And then I will open up a movement workshop by November online. So if you if you want to
Yeah.
you guys, you can join. I'll send the link and
And I will tell my students so they at least have an experience with you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's go from the personal, what we used to do, personal doing things to online to video, because I only have my phone, I don't have laptop and all that. So it was hard for me. Oh, what am I going to do? But now you just have the courage to do everything and just trust that it will work out eventually. So now we're gonna do this workshop and we're gonna I will continue to do IG live performances once a week, so stay tuned with that. And
Give me a progress. I mean, like, send me the link and I can join.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, Sasa, thank you so much. But the really last before we really close it, we still have like 4 minutes more. I need your closing statement for a lot of artists who, how to say, like, how to say in English, like they affected by finally I got the word. Closing statement for the artists who affected by the pandemic to keep like us, like me too, like how we survive.
Yeah, especially you, because you just labored your baby, right? So it was harder. Oh yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm waiting for the baby. This month.
Anyway, this month, yeah. So okay. I think I cannot. We just have to trust ourselves that whatever we are experiencing right now will lead us to a better future. Whatever what we are inclined to do, we just have to trust to do it and act on it. If you feel to rest, because we cannot compare what we do to others. Some artists really thrive during this pandemic. They create a lot of things, they do a lot of things. They can produce more And some
Yeah.
artists cannot know or don't know where to start, or or feel that they're having doubts on their own capabilities. And there's also a lot of limited resources, because we cannot go back to our normal
Yeah.
life. So um, yeah, I think we all need this time to rest, to recover and reflect.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, rest, recover, and reflect what we have been doing for us to go on, to move forward. Because if we don't
Mm-mm.
realize what we have been doing, when we brought to the challenging times, we cannot know how to fully move forward because we're stuck on what we usually do. So if we took this time to rest, then we can have rest. That's just it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we can have this time to think what we can do more for ourselves, for our community, and for our fellow artists. Yeah. And from there we can always just do what makes us feel good, what makes us feel happy right now, and we don't have to overthink anymore, because this is my problem as well during the whole pandemic. Yeah,
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
whole pandemic was also my problem. I overthink. I put a lot of expectations to myself that I have to do this, I have to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but my body is not ready yet. My heart is not ready yet. My mind is not ready yet. I have to rest. I have to, just feel everything at once and just live in the present moment. And when we used to do a lot of things, we forget how to rest. you know,
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
to
yeah.
rest. When we feel to do, when we feel the need to do again, when we need to restart again,
Start
then we
again.
restart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
that's just
like,
it. Trust the process.
don't really push yourself to do
Learning.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Sasa, thank you so much. I
Thank
will translate it later lah ya.
Okay. Okay.
Sasa, thank you very much. And for my audience, if you see our video the next
Thank
time,
you.
don't forget to follow Sasa Kabal Quinto. Kabal Quinto with P and H in the last name. Because Sasa will open the online workshop on November, right? So
Yes, yes.
we'll be waiting for your advertising, and yeah, I'm trying to help you and help my students also to. This is Buto from the instructor, the real instructor. If you want to, I can say to my students, if you want to learn about Balinese dance or Java dance, I can teach you. But for Buto, I'm not ready yet.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Sasa. Salamat.
Thank you so much. Are you going to save the video? The whole
Yeah. Yeah, the whole conversation, I will save it and I will try to send you on WhatsApp.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, Sasa. Say hi to everyone there. Bye.
Bye, Indonesia. Bye, Sarang. Sarang. Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Serang City. Bye.